kid? You never really got that interested in it?
Not much. I mean, hockey pretty much ruled my life when I was a kid, so
Not even the hockey rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State?
I didn't know about that either. I mean, I was more Red Wings and Red Wings
I was
fan.
going to
That
say,
was
put it this way. It's like the Avalanche and the Red Wings back in the
Exactly.
day.
Yep.
Back in
Oh,
the
yeah.
day. But what did you learn about the history of the rivalry, though, in coming here? It's not just football. It goes to a bigger thing back in the 1940s.
Like I said, from Schofield and Lewan and Elliott Mueller and just, they just took it as, it was kind of one of those, it's an in-house rivalry. There's always been bitter arguments over the years, and it's just kind of always been a game that everyone has a chip on their shoulder, more so than normal, it seems like. And just the atmosphere that's around it is just more bitter, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but
You mentioned trying to treat this game like you would any other game. Do you think they're treating it bigger than any other game? And if so, does that give them an advantage?
I don't know what their mindset would be going into the game. I'm not on the Michigan State team, but I would expect them to prepare as best as they possibly can during the week, just like we will. That they have always done that every year, and I don't expect any less. And I know that they're going to come out and they're going to play really hard. So we got to do the exact same. We got to prepare as best we can this week and come out and play as hard as we can.
Braden, your parents always had the game on. Did they have any connection, any rooting interest? Did they go to one of the schools?
No, both my parents went to Ferris State, so
just casual.
Yeah.
Fans talk about revenge, especially after what happened last year within the locker room. You guys talk about revenge at all? Is this kind of a game that you want to revenge after what happened last year?
Not really, no. It's not like we've completely forgotten or tried to pretend that last year didn't happen. You look at it, you learn from it, move on, and it'll always be there. But at the same time, you got to focus on what's in front of you and not forget about where you want to go. And don't ignore your past, but don't forget where you're going and where you're at now.
Ben Bredesen, talk about just his nastiness. He seems to have an inherent nastiness and wanting to finish the
Yeah,
puck out
reminds me
there.
a little bit of Kalis.
Yeah.
Bredesen's a good kid. He works really hard.
Yeah.
Smart guy. Great attitude, great character. It's funny learning about him. Him and I, scary enough, seemed pretty similar when we were kids. Hockey and almost have the same last name. So I've really enjoyed getting to know him, and I definitely see myself, growing with our friendship even when I'm not here anymore. But really proud of how he played Saturday. I thought he played very well, played tough, physical, and he just was all out the whole game. So really proud of him.
Where were you lined up on that punt last year? You said you were on the field.
So there were three blockers in the back behind the line, and I was in the middle, and Chris was to my left.
So you were kind of a setback guy?
Yeah, so you had the front line, and then we had the three middle guys, and then the punter.
Coach mentioned one thing he learned was don't have a gunner out in that situation. Also talked about the depth of the punter. So should Blake have been back more, or would that be something you do?
Honestly, I don't know. I just focused on what me and Chris and I think it was, I don't know who else was out there, what we had to do, and that's what I was focused on.
What do you remember from that play?
Just remember blocking my guy, and then all of a sudden people were kind of getting really loud, and something happened, and I remember looking back, and they had the ball, and they was running towards the end zone. I just thought, okay, run as fast as I can, and as fast as I am, I'm not as fast as some of those littler guys, so I didn't really catch them, obviously, but that's all I really remember, and then just kind of shocked.
How about what Coach said in the locker room afterwards? Jake talked a little bit about that. What do you remember him saying?
Gosh, honestly, I don't remember.
Something about stealing the spine, but...
that kind of, that stealing the spine kind of just, it's a shock and it's hard, and, but you gotta, own up to it, and just like anything in life, you own up to what happens and, what you do and move on from it.
How long did that one sting? And you had a bye week too. I don't know if that was a good thing, or if it simmered longer, or does it still sting?
No, it doesn't still sting now. I've tried to move on from things pretty quickly and not focus on the bad things too long. That's done for the weekend, probably a couple of days. I remember talking to my parents, and but like I said, there's not much I can do about it. It's in the past, so I'm just gonna move on from it.
Coach talked about dealing with it and better than any other team ever had. Did it bring you together in some way? Was it a key factor in the way you guys finished the season last year and then came into this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great learning point for our team as far as you can fight really hard and be doing really well the whole game, and all of a sudden one little thing can change it, and then the whole world's flipped around. And then just it was a challenge to us of how, all right, this just happened. It was a huge shock, but how can we come together, move on from it, and not lose a step? And I think we did really good about that last year, and we had a great season with the first year with Coach Harbaugh. And, I think overall it was a good season, and obviously we're striving for a lot more this year. And so I think it was a good learning point as far as how to pick ourselves up after something like that.
Malik McDowell, can I ask you about him? Is he as good a defensive lineman as you'll see this year?
I think so. Michigan State's always had really talented guys and strong guys, and guys that always play really hard. So I don't expect any less from Michigan State. They've always had great guys, and I expect it to be a pretty good game.
When did you find out you'd be starting at left tackle?
I was kind of just trying it out during the middle or earlier on in the week, and got more and more reps there, and just coach was talking to me. It wasn't really, I don't know. I think I just kind of went rolling into it, and this is just kind of like, okay, we feel like this might be the best for this week, and I just rolled with it. So,
Do you expect to start there again?
We'll see. I don't know. Talk with the coaches, see how the film was. If there's something else like, okay, well, we have a few guys that we want to try there or something like that. Whatever. I trust them to do what they think is best for the team in Paris for this week. So whatever they think is best, just take it and roll with it.
Had you taken snaps at left tackle this season at all in practice?
A little during fall camp, but not much until this was the first week I really took a lot of reps at left tackle, especially the ones. So, but honestly, just being a fifth-year guy, it was a little of a transition, but I think I transitioned as well as I could.
To get you out of your comfort zone a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think that would happen to anyone who's changing position from inside to outside.
As an in-state guy, what was your perspective on Michigan State and the rivalry